Sashin, CEO, co-founder of Zero Shoes here, and it's a wonderful Sunday evening, and I'm here to talk about the fact that there is about 24 hours left in the inflation busting, inventory adjusting, no, it's not a holiday, sale that we've had going on that's ending at 11:59:59 on Eastern Standard Time and Universal Time in Europe on October 3rd. In other words, a little more than 24, let's see, what does that mean? 9 o'clock. So I got to do the math in my head. So about 26 hours from now in the US, and then 8 hours less than that in the EU. So if you don't know the details, it's pretty straightforward. We've been having the biggest sale of our life. We took normally our holiday sale, which we have Black Friday, Cyber Monday, our Black Cyber, thanks Quantumus, Anniversary, Festivus, and warehouse clearance sale. And we switched that with our product launch for our fall products that we do right, well, like, August, September, because it was going to cost us so much money to bring those in that it seemed silly. So we just swapped them. So you can save between 10 and 70% on everything we have, all of our shoes, boots, and sandals, that is, at xeroshoes.com or xeroshoes.eu. There's still a few things left at 70% off. There's a lot of things between 10 and 70. And if you checked the website before and didn't find things that you were looking for, check back, because we found some additional product. Basically, we took the amount that we keep on reserve, like for exchanges, et cetera, and reduced that from 10 to 4. So there's some extra stuff that just showed up that we hope you can take advantage of. And you can register to win one of 10 $100 xeroshoes.com gift certificates or 10 €100 xeroshoes.eu gift certificates. And you can find all this info at xeroshoes.com/fall22sale or xeroshoes.eu/fall22sale, including how to register to win one of those gift certificates. You'll find our sweepstakes app, and there's different actions you can take. Different actions give you a different number of entries. The more entries you get, the better your chances of winning. Quick announcement too. Number one, don't know why that's number one. Number one, don't wait to the end for anything. Don't wait till it's the very last minute to either register to win, because we announce the winners for the sweepstakes after the sale ends. And no problem if you buy something and then win. We can apply your winnings to what you purchased. Or you can, of course, use that to buy something else for you or someone that you know or love, or someone that you would like to have know or love you. And secondly, don't wait to the very end to try to get what you want, because we are selling out of colors, of sizes, even some styles, some of which are being discontinued and some of which we're bringing back in either in later this year or in the spring. And I don't have the dates for every product, so I don't store that in my head. So that's the reason not to wait. Also, tell people, spread the word for these last roughly 24 hours. Oh, and more importantly, this is a live event. So if you want to comment or ask me something, you can type in your comments, etc. below. I will see them over there on my screen, and then I will respond, because it's a live event. Now, if you don't know what makes Zero Shoes special, then I've got to, I don't even have a shoe with me because I just ran upstairs. I'm at home, not at the office, obviously. And I was just racing to get up here, and I didn't think to grab a shoe. But the gist of it is really simple. You don't even need to see a shoe to have this make sense. You have a quarter of the bones and joints of your entire body in your feet and ankles. Joints are made to allow things to move. And in your feet, that movement is about balance, agility, mobility. And if you don't let your feet move to give you all those functions, that function tries unsuccessfully to move into your ankle, your knee, your hip, your back, places that aren't wired for that. So that causes problems. Secondly, you have more nerve endings in the soles of your feet than anywhere but your fingertips and your lips. That's so you can feel things. So your brain knows what's happening with your feet, to know what you're on, what you're stepping in, what you're stepping on, to know how to move your body effectively, efficiently, and enjoyably. If you don't get that feedback, your brain just basically shuts that down, and that makes everything like that balance, agility, mobility even more difficult. So Zero Shoes are made to let your feet be feet, let your feet do their job so the rest of your body can do its job. A couple questions came in. Javier, what do I do with my money into? What do I do with my money into? Like, what am I investing in? Everything that I have is in Zero Shoes. End of story. Jeff says, are we still able to exchange items on sale? Yes. So if you get something into the wrong size, we can still handle exchanges, assuming we have the product that you need to exchange for. And our customer happiness team will help you with that. In fact, let me put a quick link about our customer happiness team. If you have any questions, what I'm going to recommend is call them tomorrow. They're not in the office right now because it's 7 o'clock at night here in Colorado, but call if you have a last minute question. Use the phone app on your phone. And it's amazing to me how people like seem totally reluctant to get on the phone and talk to other human beings, because that's going to be the fastest way to get help. Just asking people online, you're not going to get the right information sometimes, often. And we have a wonderful team of customer happiness members who are really smart, really dedicated, and really looking forward to helping you. Holly says, I'm new to barefoot style shoes and I'm not going back to regular shoes ever. Just got the Prios and Alpine boots and I'm waiting on 3 more pairs. Going to eventually replace all my shoes with Xero shoes. Thank you. Thank you, Holly. I got to tell you, when Lane and I started this company, we ended up selling all of our other shoes on eBay. And in fact, there's another company that was making what they called minimalist shoes. And they really weren't. And they kept calling me saying, do you want a pair? I said, well, no. I mean, they don't fit my feet. They're too narrow in the instep. They said, well, do you want them? I went, well, no. I mean, like, they don't fit. I'm not going to wear them. They said, well, do you want them? I said, if you give them to me, I'm just going to sell them on eBay. They said, well, do you want them? Yeah, okay, sure. So I sold a lot of them on eBay. Anyway, a couple of questions came in. What are the most breathable Xero shoes? That would be the Aqua X Sport, which is a trail and water friendly shoe. Really, really open mesh. You step in water. When you step out, the water shoots out of it. It's really, really fun. That is definitely the most breathable. Well, of course, the joke is the most breathable thing is our sandals. Don't know why I didn't think of that first. But as shoes go, the Aqua X Sport is definitely number one. That's from Jeff. The Huggin' Monkey says, can I get a promo code for a free pair? We don't have a promo code. You're talking to a guy, or not you're talking to a guy, you are listening to a guy, you're looking at a guy who roughly 20 years ago wrote an ebook about how to get products at a discount by searching for domain name space coupon code and then going in and putting that coupon code in at the checkout. We don't have a coupon code field on the checkout because people take advantage of that and they spread it. And then suddenly, you're not selling a $50 product, you're selling a $40 product and your business is going to suffer as a result. So we don't have promo codes. What we have instead is a sale like this where the discounts are better than any other promo code other than free, but we don't do that. And also when we launch new products, we launch those at a discount just to get them out into the world and get the ball rolling. So speaking of which, our fall products that we couldn't afford to fly in last month, they'll be here. We're hoping to be able to launch those the middle of November. So definitely stay tuned to hear about that because there's some really, really very cool products that I'm very excited about. So once again, xeroshoes.com/fall22sale or xeroshoes.eu/fall22sale. This amazing inflation busting, inventory adjusting, no, it's not a holiday sale, ends tomorrow, October 3rd, at basically just before midnight Eastern time in America and just before midnight in Europe at UTC. So do with that what you will. If you don't know what those times are, that's okay. When you go to xeroshoes.com or .eu/fall22sale, you'll see a countdown timer that tells you how much time you have to get your new favorite shoes. And the other one other announcement, you're going to find out that shipping is getting a little delayed. Now, we have got people shipping literally 5,000 plus orders a day. But we're still a little backlogged even with that because we're getting more than that, obviously. And so we're getting stuff out the door as quickly as we can. If it's been a little while and you haven't gotten a confirmation about the shipping, feel free to give our customer happiness team a call. But just know that it's probably going to take 4 or 5 business days sometimes for things to get out the door. Huge apologies about that. But again, this thing went so much better than we expected. We were just kind of behind the 8 ball. Let's see. Holly says, are the Ashland boots waterproof? Well, waterproof typically means there's a seam sealed inner membrane and like a, what's the word I'm looking for? A gusseted tongue. So it's basically just kind of like a totally sealed something up to the level of the top of the tongue typically. And the Ashland is not like that. The hemp is water resistant. You said water resistant. I don't know why I read that as waterproof. So the hemp is water resistant. The faux shearling lining around the top, obviously not. So, and of course you can feel free to treat those and see if you can make that even more water resistant or more waterproof if you need to. Randy Cryle, thanks for all the amazing footwear. Less is more for our feet. Absolutely. And Randy is someone who knows. If you ever want to talk to someone about what it's like to run an ultra marathon, crazy, crazy long distances. I say crazy, crazy because I'm a sprinter. I do the 100 meters. I don't even take turns around the track because, I don't have a GPS watch. I'd get lost. So talk to Randy. Randy's done a bunch of ultras in Xero shoes and other products as well. Because frankly, when you're doing an ultra, you do what you need to do to get to the end of that race. And sometimes things get nuts. So, but anyway, reach out to Randy. Dennis, bring back the black and yellow Prios. So I love that one too. Do me a favor, Dennis, I'm going to put this. Oops, wait, I forgot to put the customer happiness team. That's that. Dennis, also, this is for you and for anybody else. If you have any feedback, any requests, etc., go to xeroshoes.com/feedback and submit that, because that's how we know what to do. It's how we know what new products we're going to build, although our product team is brilliant and they're coming up with a lot of stuff on their own. But when we get enough suggestions, that's something that we then put into the pipeline. And even with colorways of existing products, if there's one you really like that's no longer around, definitely let us know and we'll see what we can do about that. Dan, is there any recommendation for how long each session should be for using the Rocks mat? Nope, just up to you. I mean, when I'm at a trade show, I'm standing on that thing almost all day because I really love just, getting my arch in one of those big bumps and just having a foot massage as I'm talking to people. So it's really that if you're using it for strengthening, like gripping the thing and lifting it up or whatever you can think of for gripping, then think of it like going to the gym. So, play with it for a few minutes, leave it alone, say you feel the next day. If you feel like you're really sore, wait till you get, not sore, and then do maybe a little bit less and then build up slowly, just like you would in any weightlifting exercise, for example. Huggin' Monkey, I've got a pair of the 360 and the Prio. I'm a shipped shopper. I'm not sure what that means. And I use them daily, have since September of 2021. Amazing shoes. Shipped, I'm assuming it's a thing that I should know about. So my apologies that I don't. But happy to hear that you've been using these. We have our warehouse staff, which is now like 25 people, I think. They're in our shoes all day, every day on concrete floors or whatever that actual material is. Hey, here comes my dog who clearly opened the door that I thought was locked. Here, I'll show you the dog. Wait, there's Paolo. So anyway, pardon the entertaining interruption. So yeah, on their feet all day. Our customer happiness team, a lot of them use standing desks. So we love it when people discover that you can actually be on your feet all day and feel great at the end of the day. I was in Park City, Utah over the last few days for a thing called the Mountain Land Running Summit. Some of the top researchers about running injuries and their cause and cure, and a bunch of physical therapists. And I decided to walk from the hotel into downtown Park City. I basically did about a 2.5-hour walk, just hanging out, going around. And my feet were tired at the end of that walk, but they felt totally fine about an hour later and the whole next day when I was on my feet all day for this event. So, you're going to use your body, but you can use your body. That's what these things are made to do. Let's see. Weaver Marquez says, I'm in Calgary and tried finding a local store, but the store locator's Calgary location seems no longer to apply. Weird. I don't, where would I recommend I purchase online? I'm going to have to look into that because that's news to me. So I'm going to literally send an email to our team and ask what's going on with that. We are talking to Canadian distributors, but we don't have one at the moment. And my other suggestion, check and see, I hate to say this, but I will. I don't know what the store, well, we can obviously ship to Canada, but there's the extra cost for doing that. Amazon.ca may have something, or just Amazon.com or Zappos as well. You can check there. I don't know if REI ships to Canada or not, but I would check there, or just check if there's anybody else in Canada and see what they can do. But thank you for the update on that. So John had some problems with the Z Treks at Tunnel Hill last year. The sale, just bought the Z Trails and ripped 20 in them. Oh wait, broke 24 hours for the first time. Jesus Christ. Sorry, I read that wrong. And I was about to say, look, we back up our products with a 24-month manufacturer's warranty, but now I've understood what you're writing. I broke 24 hours for the first time in my Z Treks at Tunnel Hill last year. In other words, he ran that in under 24 hours. Just bought the Z Trails and ripped 20 in them. And the Red Mesa Trail, they're beautiful, and ripped 16 on rugged trails. What am I reading? All went well. Love the stuff and happy to take a few miles off my 5,000-mile warranties. By the way, I'm gonna give a little teaser. For anyone who read the book Born to Run by Chris McDougall, stay tuned for a really cool announcement about the two of us. But in the meantime, be on the lookout in the beginning of December. Born to Run 2 is coming out. And this is the practical version. Whatever you read about what all these amazing people are doing in Born to Run, you're going to learn how you could do that as well in Born to Run 2. So we're really excited about what's going on with Chris and his running coach and co-author Eric Orton. More news coming about that soon. Christian says, I'm from Chile, best shoes in the world. Thank you so much. We're trying to actually get into South America, in Chile, in Brazil, in Ecuador, where we have friends, in Uruguay, where we have friends. So we're working on all of that. Max says, I plan on hiking Alta Peak here in Cali. What Xero shoes would you recommend for multi-day hiking at high elevation with a lot of rock scrambling? Here's the joke. We've had people do things like that in almost every shoe we make, even some of our casual shoes. We've had people do that in our sandals, like the Genesis, our thinnest sandal, our Z Trail sandal, our Z Trek sandal, our Prio, our HFS, our Daylight Hiker, which is a lightweight hiker. We had someone who climbed Kilimanjaro in that shoe, and similar. There's a lot of scrambling. There's a lot of shale. And this is an REI sponsored trip. And at the end of the trip, the REI rep said that the Daylight Hiker outperformed every other shoe that was on that trip. And it was the only one that REI wasn't carrying at the time. And if you would think that they would immediately then pick up that shoe and start selling it, you would be wrong. Even though the hiking buyer's wife was living in that shoe and saying, you got to get this shoe. It took another year till he decided to give it a shot, and it's been very successful. Similarly, the Excursion Fusion, great shoe. That one is like the Daylight Hiker, similar sole, but waterproof, fully waterproof, and just a more rugged design too. So any of them could be really good. But again, it's kind of how you handle terrain. I've gone trail running with people totally barefoot, and the way we pull it off is that we're really attentive to what our terrain is, and we use the terrain instead of just trying to cross our fingers that we're going to step on something and be fine, and kind of walking or running over the terrain. So it's up to you. So you kind of can't go wrong, but you can also take our shoe finder quiz, xeroshoes.com/select. Wait, I'm going to write that in here. Take our shoe finder quiz at xeroshoes.com/select. So you'll have to play. I can't give you a single answer because it literally is comical in our office about the things that we hear people doing with shoes that we did not expect people would do those things in those shoes. We've had people climb mountains in our Hana, which is the first canvas shoe, the first shoe we made. It's a casual canvas shoe, but off they went. And this is going to be a bit of a tangent, but we have a bunch of golfers who swear by Xero shoes. Some are in the Mesa Trail, some are in the Aqua Export, some are in the Genesis sandal, some are in the Hana, some are in the Prio, and they all say this is the best shoe for playing golf. So unfortunately, that means that it's a personal preference-y kind of thing. Dennis says Genesis Cloud, which is thinner. They're the same thickness, but actually the Genesis I think is a little bit thinner, because what we did with the Cloud is, and there's two versions of Cloud. There's the one that we've closed out, the Cloud, and then there's the Aqua Cloud. And I'll tell you the difference. The Aqua Cloud, we've taken the bare foam layer, which is the footbed, which is a little bit of foam, a little bit of highly dense EVA that we've inlaid into the sole. And in the Cloud, it kind of goes back 2/3 of the way. In the Aqua Cloud, it goes all the way. It covers the entire footbed. And then also the Aqua Cloud has a new grippier tread pattern on the sole. We have a lot of people we call it the Aqua Cloud because not only does it float, which the original Cloud does as well, but we have a lot of people who are using that for paddle boarding or kayaking or various things where they're jumping in and out of water. So do with that what you will. Now, if you don't know what we're talking about, by the way, Xero shoes, it's all about letting your feet do what's natural, letting your feet be feet so the rest of your body can perform at its best. Super comfortable, super lightweight, so comfortable and lightweight, I love to say, and this is a true story. We've had more than one, probably more than a dozen, at least, people say that they went to bed still wearing their Xero shoes because they forgot they had them on. We were at a trade show once, and one of our sales guys were having lunch, and he goes, "I better get back to the booth. I'm going to put my shoes back on and run over there." And he looks down to grab his shoes and realizes they're still on his feet. So we hear things like this all the time. And we're having this biggest sale we've ever had. It is our inflation busting, inventory adjusting. No, it's not a holiday sale because we took our Black Friday, Cyber Monday sale and brought it out to here to now, and it ends tomorrow night, October 3rd, 11:59 and 59 seconds p.m. Eastern time for the US for xeroshoes.com and UTC for xeroshoes.eu. So a little more than 24 hours for .com, a little less than 24 hours for .eu. Brett, looking at getting some Z-Trail, Gracie's and a trail shoes. I've discovered barefoot shoes, long-term autoimmune candidate. I'm in Australia. Can you recommend the best supply options? Xeros.com.au is our Australian distributor. And it may be, though, that the prices we have for and there's some other stores in Australia and New Zealand as well. But it may be that the prices we have on our sale, because I'm not sure what the distributor's doing, that are better even with shipping than what's available on those sites. So I would take a gander and compare. In fact, I would compare all three. I'd compare .eu, well, same prices on .eu, but the shipping may be different. And I don't know if they can ship to Australia, actually, but check xeros.com.au, xeroshoes.eu, xeroshoes.com, and see what you find. We're looking forward to having a stronger presence in Oceania, and that's happening. But, annoyingly, things take time. And speaking as a sprinter, I don't like it when they take very much time. So speaking of not taking time, I don't want to really take a whole lot of time from your evening, your middle of the night if you're in the EU, or your morning if you're in Australia, for example. So I'm going to just say, let's do it going once, going twice. And if you have any last minute questions or comments, toss them in while I say something about the sale again. And then I will answer that last batch. And then I will give you your evening, your middle of the night, or your day back. And I'm going to go crash on the couch. My flight back from Park City last night got me in like 2 a.m, and I am toast. Hugging Monkey asks again, are you guys going to make more shoes slip resistant other than the Prio all day? There are a couple. What we're looking to do is make a few. Yes, is the easy answer. But it's not that we're necessarily taking existing shoes and putting the slip resistant sole, but we might be developing some additional shoes with that sole. So if you have, this is for Hugging Monkey, if you have a request for different types of shoes where you want that slip resistant sole, go to xeroshoes.com/feedback. I put that link in the comments and submit that. Like, say what it is you're looking for. Ideally, link to examples of that kind of product, because that's going to tell us what direction we should focus on moving forward for that. So thank you for asking. Are there plans for other kid shoes beside the Prio and Z-Trek? Yes. And I think there's a couple of them coming out in the spring. I can't store in my head what's coming out when, because we're already planning for the spring of 2024. And so I've got what we have now, what's coming out in about 6 weeks, what's coming out in like February, March of 23, what's coming out in the fall of 23, what's coming out in the spring of 23. And I just literally can't keep them all in my brain. But the answer is simply yes. And if there's a particular type of shoe that you would like for kids, and the size that you're talking about, again, Holly, if you go to xeroshoes.com/feedback and submit that info, that would be really, really helpful as we figure out how we can help more and more kids, which is very high on our list. I was just at this Mountain Land Running Summit. I was with Irene Davis, who is formerly of Harvard, now at University of Southern Florida, USF, who is one of the top researchers on minimalist footwear in the world. And she loves to say, if we just get kids wearing these shoes, then in 20 years, we wouldn't be treating adults for the billions of dollars of problems they currently have. And so, candidly, the challenge with making kid shoes is most adults don't want to pay the same amount for kid shoes that they grow out of quickly as they do for their own shoes. And to make kid shoes costs almost the exact same amount as what it takes to make adult shoes. So we're looking for interesting options and interesting ways of making things more affordable for your kids. We also have our Xero Shoes Kids buy, sell, and trade Facebook group, where you can buy, sell, and trade shoes. So if your kids are outgrowing something, find someone who wants those, and vice versa. Oh gosh, a couple of things. Wait, I'm going to do this part first. So once again, huge reminder, go to xeroshoes.com/fall22sale or xeroshoes.eu/fall22sale, where everything that we sell, our shoes, boots, and sandals, everything we make is between 10 and 70% off between now and tomorrow, October 3rd, 11:59 and 59 seconds Eastern time for xeroshoes.com, and the same 11:59:59, or if you want to be fun about it, 23:59:59 UTC for .eu. You can also register to win one of $10 $100 xeroshoes.com gift certificates. or 100 euro xeroshoes.eu gift certificates. By just going there, you'll find our sweepstakes app somewhere on that page, and you'll see different actions you can take to register to win. The more actions you take, the more entries you get. The more entries you get, the better your chances. So that's that part. All right, let me do these last questions, then we'll get out of here. John, if you're thinking of buying on the sale, buy. We got 5 pairs in our family and are 100% happy. Thank you so much. Dennis, I remember seeing pumpkin-inspired colors for the Prios. Did that ever come out? I don't remember that. Huh. That's interesting. News to me. So, and another thing I don't keep in my head is all of the colors. So if you don't see it on the site, it probably isn't or didn't, or maybe it's happening. I don't know, actually. Drop an email to the customer happiness team and ask them. They'll know better than I do. You saw it in an email. It might have been, oh, you know what it was? This was a year ago when it was time for Halloween, and we were joking about doing pumpkin spice Xero shoes. That's what that was. So no, that was not something that actually came out, although some people really did like the color, but it seemed a little over the top. So that's what that was. Huggin' Monkey says, I can't wait for the kid shoes. I'll be getting some for my boys. That would be awesome. Karen says, or Karan, I don't know, Karan, says hello. And I'm saying hello back to prove this is live. So once again, I'm going to wrap this up so you can go back and enjoy your evening, your middle of the night, or your morning. I'm going to go do the same. Couldn't be more grateful for all of you, for everyone who has been supporting our business. More importantly, helping this idea of natural movement grow. I did a pitch for a bunch of investors, and I said, some of you may doubt everything I'm saying about the benefits, the life-changing benefits of products like Xero Shoes. Of course, I actually said Xero Shoes. I didn't say product like Xero Shoes. And that's okay, because what sells our product, what gets people to really understand the value, is the experience. And as this idea of natural movement continues to grow, because we're growing like this, and there's a bunch of new companies coming into the mix. Some are making shoes they call minimalist or barefoot that they're not quite, but that's okay. It's bringing awareness to the idea. As that idea grows, when we get to a certain level of awareness, a certain level of people seeing us around, then we hit a critical mass point. And at that point, that's when the doubters start going, maybe I'll give it a shot. And they'll have that same experience too. And that's when things go exponential. And that's when we can change the world. And all of you are helping do that. And I can't tell you how grateful I am, not because of whatever might happen for us in our particular business, but because we know this is an important thing for the world, for people, and it's happening because of what we're all doing together, and it is tremendous to be a part of this. And one of the things that I often say is, I'm just hoping I live to see the transformation that will happen when people realize that all we're doing is going back in time to before the advent of the modern athletic shoe, which is proven to be bad for you. So let's make this happen so that we can all experience that together and have the fun of being the early adopters and saying, see, I told you so. So a couple last things and we'll go. Gabby says, I ordered the Gracie boots in yellow today because they're so cute. That means I've ordered 7 items in the sale. Thank you, Gabby. Always wonderful to hear you here. Christy says, I love your shoes. Normal shoes feel strange now. I can't wear them. John says, minimize injuries, and we have incredible results. There's research coming out about this that I'm very excited about. And someone that says Facebook user says, I tell everyone about this company because I love them. That is very sweet to hear. And this is, again, total treat. So I hope you do take advantage of the last roughly 24 hours of the sale, or however long it is when you see this, if you're not watching this live, and get whatever you can that's your new favorite shoe. Slip it on your feet, go out, have fun, and live life feet first. Okay, ciao.